What is fractional reserve banking and why does it matter? Now, fractional reserve banking is what it sounds like. It's where they keep a fraction of the reserves in the bank. Now, there's positives and there's negatives to that. The positive for them is they're putting the money to work. So let's say you deposit $1,000. All right. You have that thousand, you open the bank account, your banking app, it says 1,000, but what they're doing in the background is they're taking about 800 of that and putting it to work. They're loaning it out or they're putting it into their own investment devices. Now, it makes sense, right? They're putting money to work, but my point of saying that is the fact that it's like pretty secretive, and they're not teaching us that. And it gets me thinking, what else are they not telling us? What else are they not teaching us? Now, I want to go over this video from the former UK Prime Minister Liz Truss, and I agree with the stance of, what makes Bitcoin special is its separation from the banks, its separation from politics, all right, that it's a hard asset that can be used for an exchange. And again, all the top dogs, Larry Fink from BlackRock says he even recommends a small allocation of your portfolio towards it. All right. So, but along with that, she's going to explain why, again, it takes away power from the government. They're still buying it, but are they going to use it? Now,
Obviously, this is a crowd of people who are kind of fans of this thing called Bitcoin. We've spoken about it ourselves. I think everyone in this room naturally thinks Bitcoin is a great tool because the government can't steal it, they can't control it, and they can't print it. Do you see Bitcoin as a tool for government?
I see it as a tool for taking power away from government. And that is why I fundamentally support it. In fact, when I was at the Treasury back in 2017, I wanted us to become a leading country for Bitcoin and crypto. But there was such huge resistance from the usual suspects at the Bank of England, at the FSA, etc., whatever it became, the FCA. There was huge resistance because the bureaucracy know perfectly well that it is an antidote to their power, which is why they hate it so much, and they do hate it. And this is also why central banks are trying to introduce CBDCs, because they want to control it, they want to have the control, they want to use it as a way of having more control over the population. And this is why it is such a good thing, in my opinion, that Bitcoin is doing well. I also am a supporter of the fact gold is doing well as well, because what we have seen over the past 30 or 40 years is a complete failure of fiat currency, a complete failure of central banks, and they're not being held to account.
those are some pretty powerful words from Liz Truss. The last 30 to 40 years have been a complete failure in banking and in fiat and accounting. Now, that's the whole point of crypto. It's a new accounting system, blockchain immutable. That way you can see everything transparent. Now, as you can see, HSBC Hong Kong, they are talking about custodianship, tokenization, and bond issuance. Now, why that matters and why that's important is because Ripple already what they did is they own Medico. Okay, Medico, they focus on tokenization. And HSBC later that year in 2023 has already partnered with Medico for tokenization. And as you see, they're working. HSBC is talking about tokenization and custodianship. Now, amazing. Now, along with that, the other companies that are tokenizing on the XRP ledger, Ondo Finance, $693 million worth. ARCAX, tokenizing money market funds, and the Dubai Land Department, tokenizing real estate. As do your own research, and thank you for watching. This is not financial advice.